the Big Bang sort of situation happens again, and it's a new universe, and then they get to turn on sleep mode, and then they get to live life all over again from like, it's like getting into season 2. That's crazy. Hi y'all, how you doing? We're watching Brain Battery. What the thumbnail say? We found a loophole to survive the end of the universe. Click subscribe, Loophole. Do you want to be a part symbol and tell about a magical place where all your dreams come true? Being a member of the BoiledFruitopia gang does a lot for you, me, and appreciate you. Thank you. Run the video.
Can we survive the heat death of the universe? One day, the last star
Is this? I'm just finding out the universe is dying.
Will die. Galaxies will dissolve, and black holes will evaporate. The cosmos will become a forever expanding, empty void where nothing happens. Forever. A place without life, purpose, or meaning. Lame and depressing. But there might be a loophole in the laws of physics for a future civilization to survive the death of everything and go on having fun and internet arguments.
Did everything start from nothing? I have a question. I don't know if y'all know more than me, please let me know. Did everything start from nothing, right? And then you're telling me something came out of nothing, but then we're gonna also return back to nothing when everything dies. So wouldn't something else start after that nothing? That's just like a hypothesis, if you will.
Googles of years, maybe even forever. To explain how this works, we need to go through a few steps. So strap in if you want consciousness to live forever. How to outlast the stars. Let's travel 100 trillion years into the future when the last stars are about to die and the cosmos starts turning dark forever. Here in this dying universe, we find the Noxans, the last civilization still alive.
Kind of murked.
Compared to them, we're cave dwellers. They've solved physics and can do things we can only dream of. Still, the same rules of reality apply to them as to us. The Noxans like being alive and don't want to vanish with the last stars. So they're enacting the plan to keep consciousness around forever. The first issue is energy. If you want to keep a civilization running, you need a lot of it. But actually, not that much in cosmic terms. With 5 hours of the full energy emitted by the sun, we could power present-day humanity for about 10 billion years. So the Noxans harvest the last stars and build a gigantic complex of batteries around their home star. In principle, this energy could keep them alive for a few 100 trillion years, a long time, but not even close to forever. So now the hard part of the plan begins. The Noxans need to change the nature of life itself.
The nature of
cold as ice. Being alive means doing things, eating, playing video games, and very importantly, thinking. And each of those things costs energy. But how much energy? There's an idea from a famous paper we'll mercilessly simplify and call Dyson's cold thoughts. In a nutshell, the idea is that the lower your temperature, the less energy it takes to do something. Your brain runs at a temperature of 310 degrees above absolute zero. Zero is the temperature where nothing can happen anymore. At 310 degrees, your brain needs 20 joules of energy to think a simple thought that takes 1 second to think, like, I should wear a funny hat. If your brain worked at colder temperatures, say 155 Kelvin instead of 310, a few things would change. First of all, you'd think at half the speed, and the same thought would now take 2 seconds. But in return, the energy you'd need to think the thought now halves from 20 joules to only 10. If Dyson's cold...
You're using half the energy, but you're running it at double the time, so aren't you still using the same energy? But also, if I lower my temperature down to 1, or like down to maybe almost 0, let's not say like absolute 0%, 0%, 0 Kelvin, I don't know, Fahrenheit, whatever, just down to the coldest like possibility, right? Then that just like is life even worth living if I'm operating at such a pace? It's like how snails operate, or like, when like speedsters say like everything like go like super slow. I'm talking about it.
Thoughts
I don't know.
The colder you go,
keep going.
The less energy you need to think a thought.
We're learning.
At 1/10 your current temperature, the same thought would take 10 seconds, but only require 2 joules. And this has wild implications, because it means that we actually might be able to play this game forever. How could this work in reality? Cooling down a living organism isn't easy. If we put you in a fridge, you'll die from hypothermia. The reality is that this plan will be impossible to do with flesh and blood, so the Noxans have to take a huge step. They
threw an ad at us, just right there in the middle. Don't worry guys, I got you.
Biology behind and transfer their minds into some kind of artificial brain, or even better, become completely virtual minds and build a digital world as good or better than the real one.
Okay.
This is getting pretty sci-fi, so to be fair, we don't know how to build such brains or computers. But remember, we are 100 trillion years in the future, the Noxans are desperate, and the laws of physics should allow this.
Okay.
So now we have a pretty big battery with a huge but finite amount of energy, and a lot of brains or a computer that can cool down. Okay, this is great and all, but how do you stay around with limited energy forever? Well, this is at the core of the plan. Each time the Noxans get colder, they need less energy to stay alive. Sure, they'll be slower, but this isn't relevant to them. So from the Noxans' perspective, as long as they can keep getting colder fast enough, their battery's energy is growing proportionally and could keep them alive forever.
How's the battery's energy growing? How is it growing? Did I miss that? Did I miss how the battery's energy is growing proportionate to the amount of time it's taken? Because all I'm hearing right now is they have almost infinite amount of energy, but not quite, and they're using almost infinitely zero resources, which sounds like not a fun life. But that still equates to like a finite lifespan, right? But so you're telling me the energy is growing though? That's what we're hearing. We gotta find out.
Plan unfolds. Cooling down. As the last star in the universe goes out and the universe turns dark forever, the Noxans activate their batteries and start cooling down their brains. The way they do it is extremely simple. How do you cool down a light bulb? Well, you unplug it so it can radiate away its heat. So the Noxans switch off their brains and start to hibernate. They enter a state with no activity, thoughts, or even dreams, and let their bodies radiate heat away to cool down a bit. When they activate again after some time, they're now colder than before. They think slower, and each thought uses up less energy from their battery. They enter into a new cycle of cosmic days and cosmic nights. During the days, they're alive and awake, doing all the stuff they want to do, hanging out with friends, thinking about things, eating virtual cheeseburgers, simulating universes, whatever Type 3 civilizations think fun is in the future.
Yeah, but
and during
your
the
day's
night,
gonna be
they're
so
switched
slow.
off, lost
You're gonna
in
be so
dreamless
slow.
non-existence. Not even noticing anything isn't happening, while cooling down their brains even more. At the beginning, the nights will be very short and the days extremely long. A day can last 1,000,000 years, while night is only a few hours. But warm things shed heat much faster than cold ones. Cooling from 300 to 299 degrees takes much less time than going from 100 to 99. So, as the Noxan brains become colder, the nights will have to grow longer and longer. So, how long could they actually do this, and how is this a way to live forever? How long could the Noxans actually do this? The reason Dyson's cold thoughts are so incredibly powerful is how incredibly they scale. As eons pass in the dying universe, the Noxans keep cooling down and waking up. After 100 trillion years of this cycle, their temperature has only dropped 230 degrees above absolute zero. A simple thought now takes 1.3 seconds instead of 1. Each cosmic night is now 400,000 years long. But even accounting for their slower speeds and long hibernations, the Noxans have experienced the equivalent of 76 trillion years of life. Over 5,000 times the age of the current universe. This is frankly just
Are we also assuming that like the population of like the Noxans stays like the same like from when like the last star dies? Because like I don't see a process of like reproduction, replication. They can't double. You can't make more of them. If you make more of them, then there will be more energy to be used, right? So it's like this last population of people that want to live forever. I feel like at some point between year 1076,000,000, someone's not gonna want to be alive no more. Someone's want to go home. Someone should just end it. Someone will want to just end it. So I yeah, maybe. You know what? I still enjoy it. Actually, why am I questioning everything? It's like a crazy hypothetical.
Being alive forever. So we need to detach ourselves a little bit. We simply have no concept how conscious beings would deal with the opportunity to actually live that long. Maybe our Noxans delete their memories regularly. Maybe they create new worlds and new life. Maybe at some point they decide to sleep forever.
Ooh,
Maybe
okay,
they just activate their pleasure centers and experience perfect bliss forever. As time keeps passing and the Noxans keep going through their cycle of day and night and cooling down, the universe keeps dying. After quadrillions of years, the corpses of former stars, white dwarfs, turn yellow, then orange, then red, then black. Trillions of years later, all galaxies have dissolved like dandelions. Decillions of years later, the first black holes evaporate in bursts of light like sad fireworks. And the Noxans, they're still around, at a chilling 10 quintillionths degree above zero. They've become so slow that a simple thought takes a trillion years. They spend 99.99999999999999997% of the time hibernating. But for them, nothing's changed. Their conscious experience is just as fluid and vibrant as on the first day. From the outside, they live in slow motion. As they get colder and colder, their thoughts got slower and slower. But if you and the world around you slow down at the same pace...
How cold can something possibly get? Is there like... There has to be a minimum. And it seems like they're hitting that minimum as time goes by. But like, what's the freezing point of like ever? I thought it was zero. Thought it was zero Celsius.
You don't notice anything. Your conversations, thoughts, adventures, and experiences feel exactly the same as before. Well, I guess it's not zero. I guess you can always...
the cosmic nights that's just a freezing point of water. My fault. That's just water. Yeah, it gets much colder.
Billion years long, it doesn't matter to them, because during the nights, the Noxans don't experience anything. So, no matter how long the nights are, they pass in an instant. The Noxans experience a perfectly fluid existence. Only that with each night, they use up even less energy than before. At this point, they've lived, felt, and experienced the equivalent of 4,000 trillion years. Their battery has only a tiny fraction of its original charge, but the Noxans now need so little energy that it seems larger than ever before. True eternity has just begun. Or has it? Well, can the Noxans actually live forever? Whether Dyson's cold thoughts can make you live forever depends on one thing. Can you keep cooling forever, or does the universe force you to hit a true limit?
Yeah.
There are a few problems. Dark energy might eventually make the universe hit a temperature limit of 1/9,000,000th degrees above absolute zero. The Noxans will cool to that level after a Google years, but then they can't cool any further and their battery will begin to run out. And after this much time, the universe will make going on impossible in other weird ways. Quantum noise might just destroy their brains. All matter may decay.
Quantum noise in the middle of nothingness. That's a new term. Also, would the universe just hopefully, if the Noxans are smart enough, what are the chances that after your universe like ends completely, the Big Bang sort of situation happens again, and it's a new universe, and then they get to turn on sleep mode, and then they get to live life all over again from like, it's like getting into season 2. That's crazy.
Iron
way to put it.
Or proton decay may destroy all atoms. We don't know. Forever is a long time. But even if the Noxans don't get a true forever, if Dyson's cold thoughts work, then within these Google years, their consciousness would experience the equivalent of 2 trillion years. This may all seem far-fetched and hard to imagine, but the amazing thing about it is that for all we know, the laws of physics don't forbid life to adapt even to a completely dead universe. And it would mean that life and consciousness aren't a brief accident in cosmic history, but the final chapter of existence itself, giving the universe meaning, purpose, and hope. Maybe forever. here is your special.
And that's really it. If you already messed with it, like, comment, so let me know your favorite part was. Let me know what else you want me to see. But I enjoyed that one. I won't lie. See y'all.